Welcome to another episode of Diaspora Link here exclusively on Ghana Web TV. I'm your host, Diallo Sumbri. It's my pleasure to bring to you another wonderful guest and an exciting conversation. Akosua Ayim is from Koforidua by way of New Jersey and New Jersey by way of Koforidua. Let's get into the conversation to learn more about Akosua and why she's here with us on Diaspora Link. Okay, we are here again, Diaspora Link with Akosua Ayim. Akosua?
Yes.
Akosua?
Akosua, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So before we get into the interview, we're going to do something called choices. This is really simple.
Okay.
I give you two choices. You choose one and tell us why.
Okay.
All right? You ready?
You're going to get me in trouble, but okay.
I probably will. The
Yeah.
first one I think is going to be easy. I know what you're going to choose. I think so. All right. New Jersey or Covetown?
Oh, that's not right. Covetown, though.
Why is that not? Tell me why.
Covetown's home. Covetown's home. I mean,
You couldn't not choose Covetown,
no,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
nah.
okay.
It's just like the family, just when you go there, it feels like homecoming. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Here's another one. Light soup versus palm nut soup.
Palm nut soup. Well, it depends on what you're having it with, actually.
Okay.
So my immediate reaction is palm nut soup because umutio with palm nut soup is like one of my favorite things.
Amutio is rice balls.
The rice balls, yeah,
Okay.
with palm nut soup. But light soup with some fufu, that bangs too.
But if you had to choose one,
Not palm nut soup
palm nut soup,
Yeah.
Amutio, palm nut soup
on a Sunday, yeah.
on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Specifically on a Sunday.
Specifically on a Sunday.
Okay. how
At
about-
Living Room in East Legon.
At Living Room in East Lake,
Yeah.
one of my favorite spots too. All right. Hip hop versus Afro beats.
Afro
Ooh,
beats. Yeah,
when
you know
Biggie
what?
come on.
I know, no, you know what the thing is? It's like, so the thing is that like growing up for me, it was like all hip hop all the time.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I'm a huge fan of High Life. Like,
Okay.
like Saturday mornings,
Okay.
just like all High Life music in my house. But also, my dad's like a huge music person, so we listen to everything. We listen to a lot of jazz, a lot of reggae, like just a lot of different stuff. But in my adult life, like, I don't know if I've listened to anything but Afrobeats over the past like 7 years. I really don't.
Afro beats it is.
Yeah,
Okay, no problem. How about this one? Wache versus Jollof.
watch it.
But you know what I'm finding interesting?
It-
People don't stutter.
Yeah, no,
It's
no.
one or the other.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like, ooh, that's a hard one. A lot
No,
of
no.
people.
You know the thing is, here's the thing. If you bring me the best plate of wache in Ghana and the best plate of jollof in Ghana,
You're gonna take
the
the
wache
wache.
is gonna taste better. Yeah,
You think so?
yeah.
You need to come to Yame Bechere with me and have the,
And then
the
jollof.
jollof.
No, I love
we have in
jollof.
Yame
I love
Bechere.
jollof. I love jollof. I love jollof. And like I do. Trust me, I do. But it's like if again you bring wache, talia, shito, stew, and nam and kusia, all that, and you put that plate there.
It's done deal.
It's a done deal.
How about this one? Radio versus television.
Radio.
Radio. So you can go without.
Well, okay, hold on. So not radio, so I'd rather listen to music than watch TV, but
Okay.
not the radio as it is right now.
No. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying. But the idea of listening to music versus watching
Yeah,
TV.
yeah.
You take listening to music.
Yeah.
Okay. We love when we play choices because it reminds us that we all choose different things every day, but our choices don't have to divide us. Our choices should actually help us understand each other better and bring us closer together.
Yes.
That was Akosua with choices. All right. Our next one is called Top 5. Top 5 is really simple. I'm going to give you 5 categories, and you give me a recommendation of your top in each.
All right, if I
Really
can find,
simple.
if I can make fun.
Really simple.
Okay.
Okay. If you could choose one book in the whole world, either your favorite book or the top book that you would recommend that everybody reads.
Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe.
Things Fall Apart. I have it on my coffee table at home. Why Things Fall Apart?
So I'm a very proud Ghanaian, grew up Ghanaian, but I think Things Fall Apart I think reading Things Fall Apart was the first time in America that I publicly felt proud to be African, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. I get
Yeah, and it's a great book. It's a great story. I think it encapsulates a lot of different things about the West African experience. We did a play of it in high school. It took me to South Africa for the Grahamstown Arts Festival, so it's just
Nice.
very near and dear to my heart. Yeah.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you had to choose one musical artist of all genres in the world, pick one.
That's impossible.
You have to.
I can't do it.
Just try. Just one.
One artist.
Of all genres.
Oh, Charlie. How?
For somebody like you in the music business, I know.
Yeah, this is not right.
Hey, Charlie, you can do it.
Artists are gonna kill
I believe in you.
Okay, You want
me to come back?
Yeah, because I feel like I have to, I feel like to be fair, it's like I don't want to pick one of my artists.
Across time. Like, across time. Not just now, like, historical.
Andrea Bocelli?
I've never heard that name. Tell me about Andrea Bocelli.
He's a classical Italian singer who did The Prayer. One of his big songs is The Prayer.
Okay. Look it up.
And he is blind, but he's just like a great inspiration that no matter what life may throw at you, if you have a God-given talent, you're gonna find a way to push that through.
See?
So that's how,
See, I knew.
No, it's like I didn't want to pick an Afrobeats artist. I didn't want to pick a hip, but Andrea Bocelli. I actually have the score from The Prayer tattooed on my body, so I guess that makes sense.
Oh wow,
yeah.
nice. That definitely makes a lot of sense. If you can choose one food in the whole world, it could either be a specific or a kind of food, like Ghanaian food or pizza.
Thai food.
It can be Thai food. More
food.
than anything, you love Thai food.
Yeah.
Is Thai food better? Did you say you went to Thailand?
Mm-hmm. It's better in Thailand. It's better in Thailand.
I was just wondering.
It's better in Thailand. Oh my gosh. But Thai food's amazing.
Okay.
It's just like that. I love noodles. I love spice. And I don't like fish except for in Thailand. So.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. I need to go to Thailand.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite sport?
Football. Not American football. Actual football.
Actual, actual. So what we do in America is not actual football.
No.
It's handball, but this is football.
Yes.
Okay.
Football.
So what we call soccer and you call football,
Yes.
that's your favorite sport. You have a favorite team?
Chelsea.
I don't know.
Go
Somebody's
Blues.
watching this gonna be like, Chelsea. I don't know what that means.
Blue is the color. Blue is the color.
Blue is the color.
I'm a Chelsea fan. Yeah.
All right. Last one. This doesn't have to be a place that you've actually been to, but it could be a place that you want to go to. Favorite place to vacation? One place that you want to recommend to everybody that you say is your favorite, that everybody should visit.
Zanzibar. I haven't been yet, but it's on my list.
Zanzibar. I haven't been. It's so many places I want to go.
Yeah, I want to see the beaches.
So Listen, if anybody here is watching, okay, and you just got some extra bags of cash sitting around your house.
You want to send us to Zanzibar?
Send one to me. Send one to Akosua. Send one to our producer. Send one to our crew. So we can just go and see the places we want to see. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Akosua, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Top 5. As we continue to build the bridge in the diaspora and we begin to get to know each other and share each other's culture, an easy way sometimes is just to find out what somebody's top 5 is. Easy conversation starter, helps you get to know people a little better and a little bit more about them. So now let's get into the interview and find out more about Akosua Ayim from Cove Town. And we're back. Welcome to another episode of Diaspora Link. I'm your host, Diallo again, and I am here with our guest for this episode, Miss Akosua Ayim. Did I get it right?
You did.
Can I say coast or do I need to say
No,
Akosua?
you can coast fine.
I can do coast?
Yeah, you can coast. Akos.
Yeah. Okay, all right, cool. So welcome.
Thank you for having me, Diallo.
I am so glad that I caught you while you were in Ghana. We're not gonna tell everybody kind of how I snatched you out the airport. We're not gonna get into that. But
I'm here. We're here.
You are here, and I'm very, very happy because, and I don't mind our audience knowing that this is the first time we've met in person.
I know.
But we've been talking on the chat group for like a year and a half, 2 years almost.
Yeah,
right?
almost 2 years.
Side chatting and
you the bride now.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. Tell us, where are you from in Ghana?
I'm from Koforidua Efijase in the eastern region, so total Cove Town flower on this side. My mom's entire family, actually both my parents are from there, but we're matrilineal, so
right.
From Koforidua Efijase. Yeah.
Hey, Cove Town in the house.
Yeah.
I always say Cove Town is my town, but it's not really my town. I'm just.
It's okay. We'll
there.
take you.
You'll take me. I'm accepted.
Yeah.
Cove Town, what up? What up? Linda Door, what up?
Okay.
All right, so You were born in Ghana or the States?
I was born in the States, born in New York, raised in Jersey.
Well, you just can't say New York. What's the borough?
No. So I was born in Manhattan. I was
you born in Manhattan.
I was born in Manhattan.
Right, so,
but I'm a Jersey girl, so I was raised from East Orange, New Jersey, by way of Ghana. That's what I always say. I'm from East Orange by way of Ghana.
Okay, but raised in New York.
Yeah, well, raised in Jersey, but it might as well have been a little Ifijase. I was really raised in it was a really Ghanaian household, so like it was very much like Tree is actually my first language technically. I didn't learn English until like I started preschool really.
Wow,
I learned them both like in tandem, I guess you would say.
So you still speak Tree fluently?
Yeah. I mean, my brother would probably say I'm not fluent, but I pass.
But you pass.
Yeah.
You speak it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you grew up in the U.S., right?
Grew up in the U.S.
So let me understand this. Your family had moved to the U.S. prior to you being born?
Yeah, parents immigrated to the U.S. My dad did grad school in the Soviet Union. My mom did grad school in London.
Okay.
They met here, had me, and then had my brother. But we started coming to Ghana when I was 6 or 7 years old.
Okay.
And we'd spend like the full summer here. So I would spend like almost 4 months a year in Ifijase.
Okay, and you did that I
did that until I was like 14 or 15 years old.
Oh, so for almost like 10 years, almost like 10 years in a row.
Yeah.
So even though you are a native Ghanaian and you were born in the U.S., Ghana was never something foreign or far away.
Never.
Because you said growing up in your house was like being in your hometown.
Yeah.
And you travel every summer.
Yeah. So and in Ifijase, the way my grandmother's house is, it's a compound. So my mom is one of 8, and all the sisters have their own little house in the compound. All my me and my cousins are all still very close. I was literally in Cove Town yesterday.
Nice.
And so we're all still very close. My cousins have kids of their own now, and I am really grateful for how my parents raised me because Ghana never feels strange when I'm here. I'm very comfortable here. My brother can drive from Accra to Koforidua by himself. And so, yeah, it's a blessing, honestly.
Nice. So from the time that you were about 14, did you still keep going every summer, or was there a point where you kind of had a gap where you didn't come back to Ghana?
Yeah, big gap. So went to boarding school in the States at 14.
Okay.
And kind of that time it was new things, new experiences. So that's when I started traveling to other places. I came to Ghana the summer before college, and then I did a 7 or 8 year stretch.
In Ghana or
back at home in the States.
College.
Yeah, college, and then a few years after college, it was a 7 year stretch where I didn't come. I didn't come to Ghana, which was really, really tough. But I think I also spent a lot of that time seeing other places in the world.
But you were still in touch with your cousins and your family.
We talk all the
time.
I just wasn't here. Yeah.
Got you.
And then I did another trip when I came back here before I started my MBA, and that was in 2014.
Okay.
And then since then, I've been coming back every year.
Okay, so your MBA.
Yeah.
And your concentration was?
Culture, arts, and media management. So that's how I pivoted from business to the business of music.
So that means that worked for you and your family because
they accepted it.
They accepted it. Okay, so after your MBA, Cambridge, UK, you went back to New York.
I stayed in London for another year.
Okay.
I was trying to get into some work there. It was the very beginning rumblings of Brexit. So it was really hard to get a work visa.
Okay.
So then I ended up coming back home, and I started my agency.
Okay, so before we get into the agency, you mentioned something. You said when you took that gap in time before you came back to Ghana, you said you began to travel.
Yeah.
So where are was it Africa? Was it Europe? Or was it just the whole world?
I think I started mostly in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did South Africa. I did do that. Then I did France, Italy, London for the first time before the MBA, Germany. And then I started bouncing over to Asia once I started the MBA because it was closer. So I've done Thailand, China, and Bali.
Nice.
And then recently I've started to explore South America. So yeah, I love to travel.
I love
I have my
South
passport.
America.
I would show it to you, but it's kind of crazy.
No. Trust me. You know what I did is when you get a new passport, you're supposed to turn the old ones in. I was like, I'm not losing my stamps.
No, they didn't even ask me.
I kept it. So now we're going to do something called African 60.
Okay. Ooh.
So, Africa in 60, as you know from watching our show, is when we ask our guests to name as many African countries as they can in 60 seconds. So since Akosua loves to travel,
This is gonna be
and
embarrassing.
no, it's not embarrassing. There is no win or no winner or no loser in this.
Okay.
So you get 60 seconds.
Okay.
We're going to keep track.
Okay.
And just name as many as you can. You know, I'm gonna give you some hints. Like, you know what?
No,
Sorry.
let's do it. Let's do it.
I wasn't gonna give you a hint. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to because I haven't done that with anybody else. Okay. Countdown. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, Mali, Guinea-Bissau, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Egypt, Morocco, Mauritius, Tanzania, Rwanda, Kenya, Uganda, Benin, Togo, Niger, Chad, Botswana, Lesotho, South Africa. Oof, and I'm starting to. Ethiopia. Where haven't I touched yet?
Good job.
Shoot. There's Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire. There's another M1 after Mali. Hey, now you're carrying away from Sierra Leone, Angola.
Three,
can I get one more?
2,
I'm good. I'm done.
All right, no, I counted 25. That's great. I counted 25. That's great. You know what? Even when you know, what I realize is that even when you know these African countries, when somebody asks you,
if the whole map goes blank,
you start trying to look for east, north, west, south. Okay, so before we get into your agency, which I do want to talk about, you mentioned traveling. Now, when you were traveling, were you traveling for work or just enjoyment? Just, I want to see the world. I want to.
A little bit of both. I mean, I think like my parents bringing us to Ghana when we were younger, like I got used to planes very easily. Like we would travel here. Some summers we would come on our own. So when I was younger, it was definitely for enjoyment because I wasn't working. But with the agency, I've gotten to travel for work as well. But I just need to be on a plane like every 3-4 months. Like
I get it.
I get it.
Honestly,
like when the pandemic started, I'll be honest, like the beginning of this year was very difficult for me because, and I couldn't pinpoint what it was. And my best friend was like, it's because you've been in the States for like over a year. She's like, you
haven't left.
Yeah, she was like, you need to get on a plane. So we did that. We went to the Bahamas and we had a great time. And it just kind of like, that was the beginning of 2021 for me, honestly.
That allowed you to be like, you know what, let me get back in my swing of things.
Safely, of course. Like, respectfully.
Safely, yeah.
But I had to do it,
No, I get it. So, I'm going to go back a little bit. There was a gap from you coming to Ghana.
Yeah.
Talk about what some of the differences are that you noticed in Ghana
when I came back
during some of those gaps, right? Because I'm fairly new to Ghana. A lot of people don't know that. Like,
you're like the king of Nyamabetchere,
right? So, but I'm fairly new to Ghana. So like I have friends who've been traveling here for 20, 25 years. So they remember the stages of development of Ghana.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the things you notice, I mean, infrastructure-wise, as well as just socially and culturally.
I think for some of the things that hit me the hardest is when you're making that drive from Accra to Koforidua, because you literally see how the towns change, or towns that weren't really towns before are now like bustling centers, or like roads that were not done before. Like I remember the first time we came when they had really done that road. I can't remember like they had really done the road, and I remember like dreading when I was a kid going from Koforidua to Accra because it was such a long ride, and I was just kind of like, it's just a waste of time. And I don't remember exactly which year it was. It might have been after that stretch. And now the ride is like 2 hours max, and that was a huge. Right. I was like, okay, that's crazy. Like just how something as simple as a road can like really just change your entire experience.
I am so happy that they just paved. I'm not even sure which part it is. It's before you get to Adoso, but it's after. I think it's after Mamfi, before you get to Adosa.
I know the stretch you're talking about. Yeah.
You cross over the little bridge,
Yeah,
and
so,
we used to have to do this
Yeah.
around the potholes, and now they just paved it.
It makes it so much easier.
Yo.
So I think definitely that. I think when Kotoka got its first Reno, that was definitely a big moment because, again, like I remember coming in and like
Terminal 2.
Yeah, and like the baggage claim and like I remember this one year. This is a little bit embarrassing on my part, but I remember this one year like I landed at Kotoka and I didn't recognize my bag. I literally was the last person in the baggage claim, like, wait, and I saw this bag and I was like, that can't be my bag. It was so dark in there. I didn't recognize the bag. And so it was like literally the last bag on the tarmac and I picked it up. So definitely that. And then I think also just like all the like nightlife that's popped up. Sorry, that's new.
Right.
So just like coming back in
restaurants,
clubs, bars. But then there are like some things that I'm just kind of like, which is comforting that are still here. Like, I feel like people who are just now coming to Ghana, there's certain things that like y'all haven't gotten to experience, like Frankie's. Like Frankie's to me.
Osu?
Yeah, but like Frankie's has been there. Frankie's has been there for time. Like, and when I was a little kid, like that was the thing to do is like, oh,
go to Frankie's.
We're going to get ice cream at Frankie's. And so just like, as you know, so like seeing that stuff when Pinkberry came out, I was like, oh, Pinkberry, let's go to Frankie's. Yeah. So
frozen yogurt, I want ice cream.
Or like, you know, some of the like the old school restaurants that are still around. So like, yeah, but it's always great to come back and like even the little things that you notice and watch Ghana just really, I think we're in like a blossoming stage. It's happening very quickly, which I think can be a little scary.
Yo, I tell people all the time, I say, listen, being from D.C., you know, downtown D.C., in D.C., you see cranes everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
I'm like, Accra's like D.C. It's
just
cranes
things popping
everywhere.
up. Yeah, apartment complexes.
Everywhere.
People are building their own homes, like, so, but I think the two big things would definitely be like the major buildings, like, or the major infrastructures, like the airport or whatever, and then the roads. Like that's like the immediate change that you see when you land. Yeah.
Well, so culturally, how did that help influence you coming back to Ghana more often, or working with Ghanaian artists, or just like? Did it make you any prouder to be Ghanaians per se?
I don't know if I could be any prouder. I'm a proud Ghanaian.
When you said like, your house was like your hometown, so it wasn't like Ghana was never this far away thing or place, even though you're a Ghanaian.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can always feel more pride about Ghana and like kind of like, you know, Ghana being put on the map, like, you know what I mean? Like now it's like the cool thing, like, oh, you like, you know, before it was kind of like, oh, you're from Africa. It was like Africa was this like big.
You wasn't even from Ghana. You was just
from this place.
This big old country.
Exactly. Now it's like, oh, you're from Ghana. Da, da, da. Oh, like, you know, now Vic Mensa sang Koforidua and his songs, like, you know what I mean? Like it's a different thing. So I don't know if it didn't make me any like prouder to be from here.
Can I hold on? Did you see Vic Mensa's freestyle on LA Leakers?
No, I thought he was going to say about the freestyle on TED Talk.
Before we get into this hip hop, I just had to ask because I watched Vic Mensa's freestyle was bananas.
It was good.
Trust me.
He's phenomenal.
Trust me. When you see that joint, it's bananas. Anyway, I'm sorry.
And I'm going to go look it up. Apparently he's from Covetown, so.
Yeah, he was just here.
He was just here. He spent a lot of time here. He spent a lot of time here.
Goes, yeah. So dope.
But so it didn't make me want to come here more, but I did become more intentional about my time while I was here.
Okay.
So it definitely made me start looking more into kind of like, you know, do I want to start a business here? You know, I have land here, but what am I going to do with that land? Kind of like those. So it definitely became a different conversation. Which
is different from coming home just to visit
just to see my family, exactly.
And exploring business opportunities in the UK and in America. Now it's just like, wait a minute, this is my hometown. It's also a viable place to invest and do business.
Absolutely, yeah. So that definitely shifted a lot. Yeah.
So we're going to take a small break.
Cool.
We'll be right back. More with Akosua, Coast City, Koforidua Flowers in the building. We'll be back. Peace, global African family. My name is Diallo Sumbri. I'm a co-architect of Ghana's Year of Return 2019, and I'm the president and CEO of the Adinkra Group. For the past 5 years, we've been bringing loads and loads of people to Ghana. Many of them, their first time on the African continent, their first time putting their toes in the African sand, in the African soil. And so many people have had their life changed. Our birthright journeys are curated cultural immersion journeys centered around reclaiming cultural identity, exploring your ancestral heritage and celebrating African resilience. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our Birthright Journey Partner Program. It's really simple, and you really don't have to do much other than email us at info@theadinkagroup.com. Now, what makes a great Birthright Journey partner for our program? Are you a leader? Are you an influencer? Are you that person that your family calls on to organize, or do you automatically know that that's your job? Are you somebody of status in your community? Are you a community leader? Are you that person in your church or in the school? If you are the ideal Birthright Journey partner. Do you believe that every person of African descent should have an opportunity to touch ground on the continent of Africa? If you are, then you are the ideal Birthright Journey partner. It's simple. We're going to show you how you can travel to Ghana for free. Not only can you travel to Ghana for free, but you can actually get paid to travel to Ghana. Really simple. Just contact us at info@theadinkagroup.com and set up a discovery call. You'll get to travel. You'll get to travel with your family and friends. You'll get to travel with your community. And the best part of it is that it'll be free for you. Or you'll even earn money doing it. So again, info@theadinkagroup.com. We look forward to seeing you in Ghana. We look forward to dancing with you in Ghana. We look forward to eating fufu, eating jollof, eating wache. Make sure you contact us now, and we would love for you to become a Birthright Journey partner. Madasi. We are back on Diaspora Link with Akosua Ayim, Kofordia Flower.
Yes.
Can I just say that after your name every time
Every
I say
time,
it?
yeah.
Can
Just
I say
scrap the NBA, put Kofordia Flower after. Why not? Why not?
That'd be crazy, yo, if instead of people putting their degree, they put like their city, or just like Akosua Ayim KF. People like, what's the KF? Like, come to Ghana.
And find out
and come to
exactly.
Ghana,
I
I'll show
like
you.
that. I like
All
that.
right, so you got your MBA. You grew up a proud Ghanaian. Ghana was never far away. It was in your home.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. This is let me know. Did you guys pound fufu in your house in New York?
So if we could have, we would have, but we didn't, because in East Orange, we grew up in an apartment building, so we were on like the 14th floor.
People would complain.
Yeah, well, yeah. So no, we weren't pounding fufu, but so my mom being the oldest, obviously like one of her older sisters brought her to the country, but like she was often like the first port of entry for everyone else coming through.
Gotcha.
So it was a small apartment, but it was always full.
Always full.
Yeah.
Always people coming through.
Yeah. Which I loved it. So,
but you always had that traditional Ghanaian food coming out the house.
Yeah, I didn't eat anything else. I like have one of the early memory I have is like just like begging my mom like to make me like a fried salami sandwich. I don't know where I had it. I don't know where I had a fried salami sandwich, but I was like, I don't want emutio. I don't want jollof.
I want fried salami sandwich.
You
probably had it at a bodega.
Bread.
You probably went to a bodega or something
probably
like that.
went somewhere I wasn't supposed to go and had a fried salami sandwich. But Ghanaian house. But we weren't pounding fufu, but we did have it like every Sunday. Yeah.
So let's talk. So tell us the name of your agency. Talk to us a little bit about what you do. I know you mentioned about your passion for the arts and being a creative. Let's find out about more how you dove into that.
So my baby, the name of the agency is Meraki Africa Agency. We're a small boutique creative agency. We work primarily with African artists and Black and Brown-owned music and media companies.
Okay.
So we offer digital marketing services, a lot of strategic work around branding and partnerships, event production, and then talent management. For like the American brands, I've worked with Black Girls Rock.
Okay.
I've also taken on contracts that aren't like directly related to that area just because it's a new business. So I worked with Travel Noir before the acquisition. And then to come back to the continent, I've worked with Afrochella since like day one. And then
shouts out to the Afrochella
big
team.
shouts to the Afrochella team.
Shouts out to my man Kenny. Shouts out to Abdul.
Yes.
Shouts out to the whole squad.
Those are my guys. Tiffany, that's the family. I love them.
And I haven't met, like, I keep seeing their post about the women behind Afrochella.
Bro, the
women, but I've never met
the
them
women
because
on the actual, like the core Afrochella team. So
Yeah.
not me as a consultant, but the core Afrochella team are like, and I love that like Dula and them give those women like their due, where they actually have like precedents about it, because it's so important.
Yes,
because especially like in the music industry, like especially with Afrobeats, like women are literally the driving force behind Afrobeats, and we haven't gotten our due just yet. So to see the Afrochella team really put their women on a pedestal is beautiful. They are powerhouse women.
I see.
They like literally put like the pedal to the metal and they get it done. So super excited for it to come back this year. Like love them.
I'm looking forward.
It's gonna be litty.
I am looking forward.
And then artists. So I've worked with produced a listening event for Jules when his EP Colors came out in New York. Worked a lot with Kwams and Flava. Currently working with DJ Aquia. Have some other artists in the pipeline that I can't mention yet.
No,
but
I understand.
Yeah, but it's been just like little things here and there that have kind of turned into bigger things.
Right.
But yeah, the focus of the agency is just all about using really like the experience that I've gotten from my education and my background to uplift companies and artists that like often won't have the budgets to go to maybe like a bigger name agency or directly to a record label. So kind of like building them up in that pipeline.
But helping them understand the business of the music industry and providing some
and providing the service, same level services
that you might normally get from a larger company.
Yeah. That's the aim. That's what I'm going for.
Yo, let's talk about this though, right? We about to get into this because I love music. I've managed a few artists. My son is a drummer, even though he's a jazz drummer.
Yes, jazz.
Some years ago, and in my studio in DC, we still offer African dance fitness classes, which uses Afrobeat. Shouts out to Akosua Ayim, my little cousin, who created that.
Love that.
People have been listening to Afrobeat before they knew it was Afrobeat.
Correct.
Right? That's one. Number two, I want you to break down for me Afrobeat
and
Afrobeats. Why? Because my family is like,
this is such
they are like they be like, yo, people don't know, like they're historians, they believe in protocol, they believe in like
so
talk to me about Afrobeat versus Afrobeats.
And the thing is, like, I'm gonna get crucified for this, but I think everyone has like everyone delineates the two differently, right?
Okay.
I'm actually like doing a lot of research on this right now because what we're seeing happening right now with like Made in Lagos and like Burna Boy is that like there's this narrative coming out now. It's always been there, but it's becoming commercialized now that Afrobeats comes from Nigeria, right? So, which it doesn't. So to me, personally, please, nobody should enter my DMs.
Say it to them in treat. Say it to them in treat.
But to me, it's like when you think about Afrobeat without the S, that is a very specific genre that is attributed to Fela Kuti, right? It's this like political, social commentary based music that he made with all the instrumentation that everyone like knows and loves about like his sound, right? When you talk about, and the thing that people end the conversation there. What people don't talk about is the fact that even Afrobeat, even in Fela Kuti and all of his legendness, that sound came from Ghana. He came here and he studied here under our great high life artists and took that sound and then added social commentary to it, and that's what made Afrobeats to me. I think is the commercialization of that music, and I think that that's kind of where people feel a way about it, because I feel like people want the differentiation to be that it's a different genre, and I'm like, it's not that it's a different genre. It's made into pop. Like pop is not just white music. Pop is anything that's like mainstream commercialized. So I think that Afrobeats is the pop version of Afrobeats.
No, but that makes sense to me because, let me tell you why that makes sense to me, because music came before the music business.
Correct, yeah.
And in order to cross over, in order to sell units, and in order to make money and get paid, and adapting to the music business is probably what helped to, right? And the modern sound,
and you have to name it in order to commercialize it, in order to sell it. And so I think this is kind of like, for us in the industry, it becomes a conversation because it's kind of like there's Afro pop, there's Afro swing, there's Afro R&B or whatever this is. And so the conversation that I'm having now with my friends in the industry is all of that Afro beats. And for the purposes of publishing, yes.
You know what? And that's what I was about to say. What people need to realize is, I mean, for publishing, for your royalties, for where you get placed in the chart,
right?
Especially if you're doing something that you're considering for Grammys, like
you have to
like Burna Boy's team was extremely smart world music.
Yes.
Right?
So you have to like, and so, but it doesn't take away from the fact that this sound has a history, right? And what I don't want is for people to forget that history is rooted in Ghana. So like Afrobeats, it has a bunch of different sounds. Like it comes from hip life, which comes from high life, like live instrumentation.
Shouts out to Reggie Rockstone.
Period. It has all of that in it. But I think for like the purposes of this like big boom that we're seeing, all of that can be. And I think a great example is Jules's latest album. I don't know if I would call that album Afrobeats, but for Jules to get the recognition and accreditation that he deserves,
right?
Like I would want them to put that forth, because now the Grammys is going to soon be recognizing, like, or should soon be recognizing Afrobeats as its own
category.
Yeah, I think it's kind of
outside
like the way
of world music, because
it needs to be. World music is such a
broad.
Yeah,
like,
it's such a dumb thing. But
you said a dumb thing? Tell me why.
It is.
Why?
Well, it's kind of like, I think, and this is a larger conversation, but it's kind of like, the whole world's perspective for so long has been put through the eyes of the West, right? That's why there's a world music category, because all the music awards that we're trying to go for are based out of the West.
Outside, so world is everything outside of the West.
Yes.
Okay, I get that.
So I'm just kind of like, what does that mean? Like, you know what I mean?
That.
So, but you kind of have the same way that, the Latin American world has their own sound. Like, not every reggaeton song is actually a reggaeton, but it works for them because they get to move up in the industry through that. It's kind of a similar thing.
So you said that they're going to add an Afrobeat section to the Grammys.
I think they should.
You think they should? Tell me why you think they should.
Or if not an Afrobeat section, then I think like they need to think about what this world section actually means. I don't think it makes sense to. The Grammys is an American institution,
right? I was about to say it's an American institution. It's an American award.
It is. But America is also like. It's not just America. It's a global. It's a
melting pot.
It's a melting pot. It's globalization is huge now, and for a lot of intents and purposes, whether we like it or not, it is in the middle of everything, right?
Right.
So I think that there's an obligation to like really parse out what this world category means. So maybe I don't know that Afrobeats is big enough to warrant its own. We have our own award shows for that, right?
Right.
But I think certainly world should be split into maybe like. Even continental or like or regionally or I don't know
because
something.
Right, so I'll give you an example. There are people who are listening to Emma Piano and they don't know that it's not Afrobeat.
Correct.
Because it blends so well.
Right.
Right? So I love what you just said about regionally, because I think regionally you kind of get that same feel. And South Africa has always been connected to this deep house music, this kind of deep house blues. And Emma Piano for me feels like an extension of that.
Right.
But one of the things I love, though, is how in some ways it's all seamless. A good DJ can blend it all.
Right.
Now let's talk about how hip-hop has influenced the culture. Or do you think that hip-hop has influenced the culture? Because I just remember when I first...
culture? Like Afrobeats culture?
Well, just African popular music culture.
Okay.
Right? Because I remember when I first started coming to Africa, my first time was in '88 and other times. In the 90s, as I got older, it was like everybody was just like, yo, you from America? Tupac. It was just like everybody was just all Tupac. If you from America, then you love Tupac.
Okay.
And then I remember watching and seeing the videos, even the dress, the pants hanging down. Like, it just looks like hip hop has had an influence, but I don't know enough to know that these things weren't happening on their own.
I mean, I think there's definitely like I think America has had a lot of influence on. Like, I mean, you said Tupac. I thought you were gonna say Celine Dion, because if it's one thing Ghanaians love, it's some Celine Dion. I think hip hop has an influence on everything. You know what I mean? And I think like we certainly see like even in the earlier days, like when I think of like a Tic Tac. Or what are these boys called? Like some of the earlier like groups, like even though they were still doing what was like right before hip life, it still had this like hip hop, like this like kind of rap,
like
kind
of swag to
it. Yeah. So I don't know like I don't know how we can quantify it, but it definitely exists. And even now, like with the drill movement, I mean we know exactly where that came from. So
like like even though I don't know what they saying. The spirit,
the spirit is there.
And the vibe is like
there.
It's like no limit.
And the thing that I love about this song, Kweku Frimpong, Eddie Sambeba. What I love about that song is that like it's drill, but it's drill. It still feels Ghanaian. I feel like with some of the earlier stuff, it was kind of like, at least from what I heard from the States, it's kind of like, okay, like, yeah, they're doing drill and it sounds good, but like, it's drill. It's not Ghanaian. Like, where's the Ghanaian part?
Where's the Ghana part?
And I think that now, like, with like how the movement is growing, like the Asaka, all of them, like, they're starting to find their own sound. They're putting their own spin on drill, and I think that's what's gonna like make it go global. It definitely has the potential to go global, I think. So it's exciting. But hip hop is everywhere. Like,
so from an agency, an executive perspective.
Oof, executive. That's a big word.
No, but it's your company, right?
Yeah.
And it's a boutique company. You grew up in New York. You traveled back and forth to Ghana. You've been around the world. The time you travel to Europe, you see how much young white kids love African music, love hip hop music. Where do you feel like Afro beats and just popular young African culture, right? Because I see way more similarities than I do differences. Right?
Between hip hop and Afrobeats?
Yeah, the culture of our culture, right? Because now, everybody always says do it for the culture. And then sometimes I'll be like, exactly which culture are you doing it for, sir? Like, but this generation that we have that kind of came up for me under hip hop.
Yeah.
We have there's something, right? I don't know what to call it, but there's something. But from an executive standpoint, where and how do you see hip hop and Afro beats making more collaborations? We got Tim's on CLB, right?
Yeah.
You got and he has who was that on Controller?
Yeah.
Drake has some. Yeah. Like I think it's a match made in heaven, and I want to see more of it. But from an executive, where do you see?
No, I think I think that like a lot more collaboration between hip hop and Afro beats will and should continue to happen. I think the biggest thing is just like authenticity and like just a genuine melding of the music. So we've had a lot of hip hop Afrobeat collaborations. Snoop did a dog with D'banj.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so it's not like a new thing.
Right.
But a lot of those songs don't hit because I feel like sometimes either the Afrobeat artist will try to be too hip hop, or the hip hop artist will try to be too Afro beats, and it just doesn't. Like it doesn't seem authentic. So I think like something my artists tell me all the time, like I'll be like, oh, I want you to do a collab with this artist, and they'll be like, okay, just invite them to the studio. Let's just have a session. We're not recording anything. Like we're recording, but we're not. Let's see like what the sound is and if it melts together and like, and also they genuinely like each other.
Right.
Like I think that there needs to just be more like networking. People need to meet up more, which I think it's great now that like artists from the States are coming and from the UK are coming to Ghana, spending time here.
They need to come and eat fufu with their hands.
Yeah, like exactly. Like they, they're coming, they're spending time here, they're like loving it, they're, and vice versa. So I think like the more that happens, it's we're gonna get this very beautiful sound where you can get each of both without it sounding like harsh, like it's separate, you know what I mean?
Got you.
Yeah.
This is my last question for you because we're running out of time, but it's a big question. Okay. As a former artist manager and somebody who follows this, what do you think? Can I ask this? Let me ask it.
Ask it.
What do you think is going to take for us to get legitimate PROs in Ghana? Well, in Ghana and Africa, and to really get the digitalization of music up to par so African musicians can get paid for their royalties. Because I swear to God, if African musicians get paid for their royalties on this continent
it's done.
And around the world.
It's done. Yeah, so PROs, performing rights organizations.
Yes, performing rights organizations. For those of you who may not know, like our producer and our guest knows about this.
Money. It's gonna take money.
It's just money.
It's just money. Like I think like there are people now who, especially so I think like I'm from the States, right? But the UK has been like again, don't crucify me, but like the leader in like Afrobeats off the continent, right?
It's
just facts.
facts.
Facts are facts, right? I think the U.S. we're still trying to figure out kind of like what our role is. I think what the role is going to be is on like the DJ and production side and like events and stuff like that. When it comes to like talent and kind of like the infrastructure that we're trying to build, I think we're gonna end up following the UK's model, which may or may not work. We'll see. But I think it's really just money. Like, I think there are enough people now who have a vested interest in the industry, like the infrastructure, the operational efficiency of it, that can come in and like build it out. Like you even see like Audiomack has like very firmly planted their foot in West Africa. Like I think others will follow. But
I
even
think Universal Nigeria or other record labels
Sony,
and people
they're coming. Like
they're toying around with it a little bit.
And then also the people who've already been here. So even the DSPs that are already here. So you think of like a Boom Play or Afro Town, Antoine's company. So the players are here, I think, for the most part. I think the big difference between the success of Nigerian artists and the success of Ghanaian artists really is just it's the push behind it. It's the money. You need to spend money to make money.
Somebody drop that bag in Ghana. We see y'all.
Right.
Stop going to Sandbox and drop that bag on some of these artists.
You know, so the artists are working really hard. I know there's like a lot of talk in the media about what artists aren't doing right and this and that, but I think also like the artists need a support system. You know what I mean? That's what Meraki hopes to provide. Like I'm very intimate with all of my artists in the sense of like I want to know about your issues. I want like even if it's something that I cannot help you with like directly, I still want to know because all of that influences how you're moving as an artist. You know what I mean? So if I don't know about it, then we can't start thinking of solutions to help you get over that hump. So yeah, it seems like an easy answer out, but I really think that all the other pieces are here. So we just need to flush the system with some cash, put it in the right places, and see what happens. Right hands, right places, and see what happens. Yeah.
Okay, I know I said last thing, and I know my producers are going to kill me, but I got to get one more thing out of you. For people interested in entering the music business in Africa, artists or executive producers, give us one nugget. Right? Because now you have returned, so many people coming back and forth. We had this artist, Zakisha, who did How I Moved to Ghana. She kind of blew up, and I see that a lot. So right? Funny. What is one solid piece of advice specifically for artists or executives in the music business who want to do business between the UK, the US, and Ghana, Nigeria, Africa? Well, give me one nugget.
Network, just meet people. So one thing I will say is that so for Year of Return, we had so many events for like artists and people in the industry, and they were like some of the most poorly attended events of the season. I don't think it was a marketing issue. I just think people didn't know what they were going to get from it.
Got you.
So I would just say like once you land, like network, people are friendly. Like, DM people, find some PRs who really know what they're doing on the continent. Find some business managers who have been doing well and just like go to these events, meet people, share your EPK, make sure your EPK is on point. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Network. Yeah.
Okay, for all you aspiring artists, if you don't know what an EPK is, you might want to choose a different career. No. I'm joking. It's an electronic press kit. And
also invest in your engineering. I know it's hard because it's expensive.
Sound quality.
Yeah, but invest.
Makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
Akos.
Yeah.
Akosua.
Yeah.
Cove Town Flower.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
This is a great way for us to meet for the first time in person. I know.
Right? We're jealous.
But now we're
now it's a done deal.
Done deal. Thank you, Cove Town Flower, Conforgia Flower in the building, our hometown.
Yes.
We wish you so much success with Meraki.
Yes, thank you.
With Meraki Agency and your travels. Have a safe trip back.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll see you here again very soon. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. We snatched you from the airport to come here to do this interview.
Yeah, people will not believe it. But thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. And yeah, can't wait to see you guys in December.
Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Diaspora Link. Akosua. You're doing great things around the world. Thank you for joining us for another exciting, interesting conversation here on Diaspora Link, exclusively on Ghana Web TV. I'm your host, Diallo Sumbri again, and we thank you for joining us for this most recent episode. We will end today, as we always do, with some ancestral wisdom by way of proverb. Today's proverb is, "The rain may beat a leopard's skin, but it does not wash off his spots. Take that with you, and we'll see you next episode.